Leo's Legion, the Lions beat the Elks 31-14. Game 1 of the 2025 season is in the books. Three Down Bros going to give some feedback, analysis, and definitely opinion. Let's kick it now. Lions fans, Three Down Bros here. Roland, Arthur, and Greg after game 1 at BC Place. Snoop Dogg opens. That keeps our concert record at 4-0, according to Nathan Rourke. Got to keep having concerts to start the year off. 31-14. I wasn't sure. Don't know about my bros. What do you guys think?
I thought it was a good start. Couldn't finish. A couple of drives, but then they had their lull. But Buck Pierce made some adjustments into the second half, and the Lions offense was just steamrolling. Steamrolling. Big kudos to the Nathan Rourke and the BC offense for picking it up and just taking it to the Elks. Roland, what do you think?
Steam rolling?
Sure.
I'm just asking.
Steamrolling.
So, welcome everyone. If you're on the live stream tonight with us, great. Glad to have you with us. Please let us know if you have any thoughts or comments, whether you agree or disagree with anything that we say. Just type it in on the YouTube chat, and we'll be able to bring it up, and we'll be able to respond to you that way. But yeah, my thoughts. First of all, it's exciting to be back with the CFL again. Exciting to be watching Canadian football again. So that was
absolutely
a big thing. I was impressed with just the change of attitude with our team, right? The first quarter we had good drives, just couldn't finish, like Arthur said, but it was still promising, right? The stats showed that we were playing a lot better than the score did. We still made mistakes. Our returns was really bad. We when Ford is scrambling, we have no answer to that. But overall, in a second half, we were able to click. Things got going. We were actually able to end the drives with scores, and we were able to respond when they scored. We responded back again. So hitting was hard. So that's a good sign, right? That they're taking what Buck Pierce is saying to heart. So I'm very pleased.
Well, as I said to start off the broadcast today, I wasn't sure. But I think Arthur hit the nail on the head when he said the word adjustments. We saw the offense finally make adjustments. Defense, again, let's go to game 2 before I get too critical of that. But yes, watching Ford run around back there was a little disconcerting. We just did not have contain on most of the plays where he ran. I think there was a couple of second and longs, like 2nd and 10, 2nd and 15, and he just scrambled for it. Very frustrating to watch, but again, overall, a win's a win. We'll take it, start the season off right. Winnipeg's coming up, so let's just see if this team can take that new attitude, take the new regime to just go 2-0.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so we've got the CFL highlight package that we'll go over. We'll just play it, and then we'll talk over it.
Welcome to beautiful Vancouver. A nice sunny Saturday night, getting set for another season opener as we welcome our viewers not only on TSN but the CBS Sports Network as well. Glad you could be with us. This is where the season ended a year ago with the Grey Cup in November. Last year, 1,782 yards and 4 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But throwing here and puts it in nicely. Done in the past with Winnipeg. So short yardage needed. They get more than that. James Butler then puts his head down and shoulders into it and pushes for a few more. Butler back in BC. 1st and 10 at the Edmonton 38. Good drive going here with the Lions to start things out. That one off to the sideline. It is caught. It is another catch. And another first down for BC. Rourke and that Lions offense perfect so far. Down to the Edmonton 24. Scoring position now. And Rourke fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, completes again inside the 10, inside the 5, a 1st and goal coming up here now, and it's Javon Catoy. Third down. Goal to go.
1 yardage protection. We'll talk about that.
Okay. I'll pause it here. Man, short yardage was killed us, and this is where we couldn't finish drives. So, yeah.
Would you say 3 pivotal short yardage situations? Can I use the word pivotal, or is that overstating it a little bit?
What happened here? Did we have an offside here? We lined up offside on the first one, or was it later on?
No. So what happened was we're first down, goal to go on the 4 or 5 yard line where Catoy caught that. And so what they did is they ran inside on, I think JB ran inside to like the 2 yard line on first down. So it was second and goal to go on the 2. So they just went 2 quarterback sneaks. And I think this is Buck Pierce just trying to set a tone.
Yeah.
And to let everybody know that we're going to play physical and we're just going to ram it down your throats. You know what's coming, but we're going to do it anyways. Because they didn't disguise it. Like, typically you're near the goal line. You're going to, like, have some motion. You're going to have, like, a few different packages, like backs in the backfield. But no, it was just pretty much, okay, we're sneaking, so you stop us. And he did that, second down to go, 2 yards to go, and then he just did it twice. So he wants to tell everyone, this is the new BC Lions. Well,
it is the new BC Lions, but unfortunately the short yardage kind of looked like the old BC Lions from a year or 2 ago, where we couldn't, before they made that change to having Mackey carry that ball. It just, I don't know. They didn't look like they were ready to execute on that short yardage to me. The old line looked tentative, and Bryce looked even more so.
Yeah.
Carrying the ball.
Nathan says our highlights are way louder. Thanks, Nathan. I'll adjust it lower. Let us know when we start playing it. But thanks for that. Jim says, good evening, guys. Hello, Jim.
Hey,
good
Jim.
evening to you, too. And Nathan, good evening to you, too. It was great catching up with you yesterday as well. So
yeah, great to see you at the game, Nathan.
Yeah, it was great seeing there. Canadian Football Fanatics. What's going on, fellas? Great team win yesterday. Excited for Thursday night. Yes, for sure.
Short week, though, CFF.
Is this Cole or is this Blake? I'm not sure.
Hey, also want to shout out to Morbital. Great to see him yesterday when he came up and caught us to say hello.
Yes. So Nathan says, always nice seeing you guys. Yeah, great. Yeah, it was great to finally seeing Morbital yesterday too. So that was great.
We should have put him on the pregame. Next time, Morbital.
All right, sorry. Okay. So let me let's play this. So Nathan, let us know. I've adjusted the volume. I've lowered it a bit. So let's see if this works better.
For a touchdown. After review, the ball carrier was down prior to reaching over the
his knee was just down before reaching over.
Right there.
He's just not a short yardage quarterback.
Yeah.
That's just not his strength.
So right.
Even though he's a big guy, I'm surprised, right? But
yeah.
Look at that penetration, though, right?
Yeah, right, definitely. That's
yeah.
But that's penetration, right? It's penetration. So
yeah. So
but
go ahead.
But everyone knew everyone knew you're gonna sneak, right? Like the way it's set up. I mean,
yeah.
So unless he's just gonna go off the end, I mean, okay, they have one receiver atop, and then Hatcher crashed in, right? Yeah. But it was pretty obvious what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it. Like I don't like the execution, but I like the mindset. How about that, Roland?
Yeah.
I like the fact that we are going to be tough and we're going to show you what we're going to do, but you're going to have to stop us.
Exactly.
So execution can probably be improved.
Well, I'm sure they'll take care of this in the film room. But I honestly thought he was going to slide down the line, like you said, and go off tackle, like way
He's
wide.
not that quick, though.
No,
that's the
true.
thing.
And there's no chance given the penetration here. Look at all the Edmonton jerseys over here, right? So, basically it's the O-line needing to make a huge first push, right?
Well, look at the Edmonton nose tackle here. Like, it's painful. It was painful to watch. I started having some flashbacks. I won't lie.
But Arthur, absolutely correct. I like the coach saying we're going to do it. We're going to do this. Let's see if you can stop us. Now they stopped us this time, and even later on, right when we were somewhere in the middle of the field, it was third and short, and we went for it. And I think I was telling you, Greg, this is Pierce saying, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourselves, and they didn't.
I remember that.
But I like that call, right? There's a comment here from Habs for Life. Hey, Habs for Life, nice to see you again. I'm never a fan of using your third string QB for short yardage. Takes away Rourke's pass threat as a possibility. Okay, what do you guys think, Greg, Arthur?
Greg, go first.
Yeah, I do agree with Habs for Life, but then we talked about it in our first pregame episode. Do you want to risk having Rourke dinged? Because we were using VA for short yardage before Rourke came back last year, and I believe he got dinged. And yes, definitely takes away the pass threat. But I'm right now this early in the season, I'm more erring on the side of caution. Let the third string guy take the beating.
Okay, Art.
I think you got to have a quarterback among your three, and not your associate, the other two, that can be dynamic on your feet. This is the CFL, right? You need a quarterback that's dynamic on your feet and can make what we're talking about, a 5-yard pass or a 2-yard pass, right? We're talking short yardage. He doesn't need to have like a massive cannon. He needs more touch, and then he just needs to be mobile.
Yes.
So I think you have to you gotta play the long game with Nathan Rourke. You got to keep him. These are hits, or these are packages he doesn't need to be in.
Yeah.
Yes, he's probably really good at this juncture. He would be awesome, but if he gets dinged up, we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Would you have maybe put Mazzoli in? Because maybe he's a little rusty that we talked about earlier, but he maybe has a better touch.
Either one.
Price?
Arthur's point is either one. QB2, QB3. They should be able to make 5-yard passes. Remember Jonathan Jennings? Remember that when he was back up? He would make he would fake out on short yardage, and we got. And who was the other one? Was it Alexander Davis? One of our backup quarterbacks. Again, remember it was a short yardage, and we ended up with a touchdown.
Dominique Davis.
Dominique Davis, yeah. That was So if you're QB2, QB3, you should be able to execute that. Okay, Has for Life says, yeah, fair enough, good points. Could Mazzoli do that? Okay, that's what.
Thank you for asking my question, Has for Life. Appreciate you.
I don't think they want to do that to him because he might get another concussion.
Yeah.
I can see why they chose Bryce over Mazzoli, and I'm not sure if Mazzoli how mobile he is right now. Right, I think he still needs to get his feet underneath him. He only played in a few games on the stretch for Ottawa, so I think he just needs to be more in sync. And Bryce has been here for 3 years. Mind you, we're talking about a handful of packages. We're talking about short yardage anyway. So you don't really need to know the whole playbook.
Yeah. So James says, other than the third string QB, I don't think we have anyone else on the roster who could do it. Nathan says, unless we have a fullback that is reliable like Mackey would always get more than 1 yard. Oh, fullback. Let's talk about, we got a new fullback. I don't know if you know, Nathan. What was his name?
Riley Pickett, the long snapper.
Yeah, he used to be our long snapper. He's now our fullback. He's an all-around guy. So
you could also use Horvath.
Yeah, true.
Yes,
he's the American, but he's a big guy.
He's a very big guy, and he's pretty nimble too for a big guy from what we saw in the preseason games.
You just need a yard or two, man. You just need to be big and jump.
Yeah.
But again, as big as you are, when you get that kind of penetration through your O-line, it might be tough. I don't care how good you are. Sometimes
then you gotta think on your feet, right?
Yeah.
You can't. You gotta you see it coming. You gotta go. You gotta pivot, right?
Yeah. Nathan says Horvath is much beefier. I'd go with him over Pickett. James says great point on Horvath. Yeah, what Habs said earlier, though, is that if you put in our QB2 or QB3, then there is a possibility of a pass, a fake short yardage, right? If you go with Pickett or Horvath, then you take that away, right? Then it's just going to be a run. So, okay.
But I like I formation. I like JB and Horvath in the backfield, and then you have options, right? So they would have to take both backs and the quarterback in this scenario. So if you want to be a little bit more, this is a mindset that I think Buck is trying to just tell everyone, hey, this is a new team. We have a new attitude. And it's Mully telling his own team.
Yes.
Right? We're not going to out-scheme you necessarily. I want to out-force you. I'm just going to impose our physical will onto you. So I think that's, to me, it's a statement to his team and to the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's
1 yard line.
move on.
Cody Grace back to punt it again, standing inside the 35 for Jermaine Jackson.
Well, this is one of those returns by this new guy, Jackson.
Rolls into the end zone.
So we
And
give
we
up the
may
single
indeed have
here.
our first point of this game and a punt single.
We always talk about instincts and a nose for the football. That guy had it.
He sure did. That one is caught. First down.
Roland's guy. I think he's
that's
making
one
a
of-
bid for number 1 or 2 net yards so far this game.
James Butler breaking through.
That's another huge
Inside
one.
the 40 down to about
I'm liking what I see from
37 for
Butler.
BC.
Well,
And
he's
that's a
so
big
much
game
better
for
at
this
receiving out of the
flag
backfield
against
than
the Elks. Second and
what we
10
saw.
at the 15. Nathan
while.
Rourke of the BC Lions.
This one's so sad. Couture should have caught
Instead,
that.
a field goal
He
try
normally
coming under
catches
Sean
that.
White.
It's the white gloves. I'm telling you, he
Approaching
needs his
his
white
40th
gloves
birthday.
back.
And he was a runner-up for the most outstanding special teams
Settle
player.
for a field goal. So again,
Waiting
couldn't
a long
finish.
time for a
the-
chance. His bench applied 6 times before getting this one with the Elks. Once again,
this is where the
Rourke was
scramble.
deep in the pocket. On the move, gets rid of it wide open.
Yeah. So who was this guy? Like,
Big catch,
I was telling I was talking to Greg about this on the game. The thing with Ford is when he scrambles, the receivers give up on their routes, right? The DBs cannot abandon their receivers. As long as he's scrambling, you got to stay with your receivers, and our DBs don't seem to be doing that. There's so many times in this game where they were scrambling, and their receivers just get open because they abandon their route and they go somewhere else, and our DB get caught. Right?
Well,
But
you know,
Roland,
they
what
say
happens-
scramble drill, right? The deep guys come back, the short guys go deep, and maybe if the DBs just stay. What do you think, Arthur? Sorry.
Well, it depends what kind of defense you're running. If it's man to man, yeah, you stick to your guy. But you're playing zone, and Trey Ford is coming to the line of scrimmage. Then you have a decision to make, right? Yeah. Do you abandon your zone to chase the quarterback? And typically you do, right? You don't let him come to you, right? Because you're 10 yards downfield.
Yeah. Are you supposed to stay in your zone on a scramble, or do the rules change at that point too?
It all depends on your defensive scheme, right? Because probably the coach is okay, and then with Trey Ford, you probably want to send 2 guys to angle him, right, to the sidelines, right? So you don't want one-on-one. It's hard to bring him down in the open field, so you probably send 2, right?
Yeah.
And then you send 2. Then, well, of course, if you're the linebacker, say you're in the underneath zone, then there's a big area underneath. So you're going to take away the deep ball.
Yeah.
So you're going to make them earn it. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But the biggest thing is how he breaks contain. That's my question. And I think Betts went inside twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the biggest thing is breaking contain. And that's what the Lions did a better job of in the second half, where they had a spread rush to Trey Ford. So then he couldn't go outside the pocket. He had to go up through the pocket, where hopefully a linebacker or 2 would be waiting.
Yeah.
Those are subtle defensive adjustments they made. Also,
it's tough, because Betts and our 2 DNs are hoping to get a sack and get pressure, but when you got someone as quick as Ford, he can get the edge on you. Right? Okay.
For the Elks, deep into the Lions' territory. Ford to pass again. Running around.
That's a hold. They didn't call it. On the other DN. That was totally a hold.
As he goes down, so it gives
The crowd called it.
3 more chances if they need him. Fajardo in again.
I mean, I must give bets for effort. He was
Fajardo left side.
chasing for just effortless.
Can we pause that there for a quick sec?
Sure.
Look at the difference. We'll use the word penetration, but look at the penetration the Elks O-line got. And I mean, there's that offside. You're not on the big white line, but look at that. There's not one line other than the DBs. The line's whole line is inside the end zone line, inside the goal line.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Elk came firing off there like they mean it. We were not as intense on our first one.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan says Betts was held a lot last night. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he was. But this kills me. This, like, whose hand is this? Can you tell?
I think they're saying it's the same hand. So yeah,
like
if you seen someone get cut,
it's like we have a giant white line here.
You have to stay on. You can't go beyond the goal.
No, you
line.
have to be. Yeah, he's what 2-3 inches difference there. Like,
well, I mean, you just can't be. You can't be beyond the goal line. That's dumb. And then on both, because I'm watching it on TV. On both, you see it. It's pretty clear.
And their heads are over the line. The heads are over the line too.
Heads are okay. Heads are okay, right? I think it's just the hands.
I think it was just the hands.
It's just the hands.
It was pretty obvious with the hands. Like when the hand is on green, you know it, you're gonna throw a flag, especially if the ball's on the 1.
Is that our end or our tackle there? Because the linebackers.
Well, I think it looks like these are jumbo packages, right? So there's probably how many? There's one in and 4 tackles. So I don't know.
But I know, and twice, right? Twice this happened.
Twice, and I think it's the same hand.
Yeah. I'm sure they will fix that now. Like, so if they don't, that should be gone. Right?
See the white line? should only take one film session.
Yeah, it should.
Actually, no. It shouldn't even take a film session. It should take the tablets that they got on the sideline by the next play.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean, the Elks, they have Brinkman and Ceresna as their 2 tackles. So those guys are highly paid defensive tackles. Highly, highly paid.
Yeah.
So that's like the core of their team. Like two of the 4 highest paid players are those 2 defensive tackles. So you would expect them to make a difference in this scenario.
But do you see this? I mean, from a fundamental point of view, look at the height of the Elk O-line helmets. They are numbers or lower, heading into those Lions linemen.
Yeah,
the lines were
the wrong way.
Low guy wins, right?
Every time.
Yeah.
Well, they seem like maybe they knew the snap count there. What do you say?
We did too, and it's our turn. So.
Yeah, no.
But again,
I think Moj said it best during the post game. It's like, Julio said it. The Lions O-line on all short yardage situations were standing around. They were standing up versus attacking low.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a silent count too. They're a silent count. We have a regular count, and they're doing a silent count, right? So,
look at the center. He almost goes right. You see his head. He goes straight for the thigh pads of the nose tackle.
Yeah.
But on ours, I think the nose tackle of the Elks were at Bryce's feet.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's how it should be done.
Yep.
We didn't make it by much. Still. Oh,
now, if anyone's going to get cut, Arthur.
Yeah, no kidding.
Holy smokes.
There we go. Across the 5, and he is tackled. The 7-3 lead.
I mean, he goes north-south, which is good. But...
No, I wasn't talking the kicker. I was talking the Edmonton kicker.
Oh,
sorry.
The place kicker.
I'm willing to give this guy at least another game or 2 before I start vectoring.
But he might be a better receiver, so.
Yeah, they put him in for a few packages and took out Edgerton.
Oh, what JV? What a first down.
Yeah, that's what we need for running backs to do, right? Run and catch the ball.
See a little more of the
But he was north-south. Every time he touched the ball, he was maybe one sideways horizontal, and the rest was north-south.
And he doesn't go on. He doesn't go down on first contact.
No.
So.
I'll make up for that one.
Inside the 35, faking the hand.
The big fake by Rugamba.
Yeah. This is a beautiful play. Like that's at least 6-7 yards. Right?
Yep.
Between him and the defender.
Well, Rugoma was caught looking for them to support the run, right?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, as much as I liked him when he was here.
Oh, Jim agrees. This is just beautiful. It sure was. We needed that, right? Because we were not closing drives, so this drive closing that brought life to the stadium, but also I think gave the players confidence. Yeah, we can do this, right?
Yeah, because the longer Edmonton wasn't doing much either, but the longer they hung around with the lead, I was really starting to, doubt.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's one score, not even a
No,
touchdown,
It's just
man.
4 points, but yeah,
I had expectation for the new team.
yeah.
I did.
Well, the Elks are going to be much better this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they weren't much better last night.
Well, they need better quarterback play. That's for sure. Their quarterbacks get it done.
Wow, that's more CFL thought than mine thought. I mean, do you go back to Ford next game if you're an Elk, or if you're the Elks?
Well, I think for Killam, he has to until you got to give him more than one game.
Yeah.
Touchdowns last year in 16 games. Second year at Arizona. 10-7.
Oh dear,
So
this was painful.
Yeah, they
I
set up that wedge. They got it.
when he catches the ball, so okay, he caught the ball here, right? Like
25 yards.
25-yard gap.
look at that. So we've got a monster kicker on, right? But this lead guy needs to be here at this point, right? So that's something that they need to work on. I think towards the end in the fourth quarter, we saw one or two kicks where he was like 5 yards away by the time he caught it. But like this is not acceptable, right?
10-7. BC.
That was just, you score to take the lead, and then you just give the Mo right back.
Big catch. 50-yarder. They'll bleed to Edmonton's
Thank goodness for that
touchdown
Edmonton
in the
kicker.
first half. And Arkell Smith with a huge return.
Thank goodness for Trey Ford.
That too.
Well, that's more Trey Ford than
Okay, beautiful.
this is what happens.
Relentless tonight. That's new Lion up front, Dwayne Hendricks, who was with
Yeah. So I want to quickly see that again.
That's the new
This is
guy.
when you have a
newly signed guy, right?
disciplined. This is when you have a disciplined pass rush.
Yep. Look at two contain. They come in properly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So 4 guys. There's a stunt. The two tackles.
and there's 6 in protection with Rankin there, I think, or is it League?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's Rankin. I think Rankin played a lot more than Leak last night.
Yeah. So he gets flushed out here. So even though this guy's falling, he gets flushed up. He takes a step up, and the
Yeah.
2 tackles are right there. Yeah. Beautiful.
pressured again. They've been relentless tonight. That's new Lion up front, Dwayne Hendricks, who was with
14.
Hamilton last year and missed one field goal.
He had a good
try
game.
wide left both times. Cody Brace to put
That's
it
why we
down,
brought him here.
45 away, and he missed it again. The
14 was
same
Lely's
way.
number. Right?
Yep.
Jackson looking to take it out. Does take it out, and a flag comes out as
Illegal
well as
block.
he's chased out of bounds deep. Started with the Stampeders and went to the
But it
Argos.
doesn't matter
Worked by the
because this
way
is a
for
defining
eight
moment of the
in
game.
this half, but he's under pressure. He
Look at
somehow
this.
escapes it.
I was nervous for him. I didn't want him to get hurt.
That was a
But-
big blitz. You see that blitz? How many guys?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
8.
See, JC Shirt dialed up the blitz. I'm not like he thought that maybe the game was slipping away, and he turned up the pressure on Nate, but Nate burned him.
Okay. Okay. How many guys here? One. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Did they all go through?
I believe so. I thought I counted
Well,
8.
then,
Okay,
then
one-
the secondary guys come. The second layer comes up, sneaks up, right, five yards at the line of scrimmage.
There you go. Yeah,
and
here's
then one
number
guy
8
comes
coming now.
in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, delayed
that-
blitz.
This guy stayed and this guy went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that deceivingly short linebacker who's supposedly 6 feet tall.
Yeah. But by then these two had already overpowered our left tackle, right?
Well, Broxton can only handle one.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, I think that's JB.
Oh, okay. JB. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
Was that JB?
yeah, they rushed two off. They
Oh,
rushed
okay.
two off the edge.
Yeah. So
I mean, they had more guys.
yeah.
Well,
the
wait a
tackle-
minute. Wait a minute. JB can still be Darrell Broxton. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, well, who that could be the
JB 's
Yeah, I don't think
receiver.
it's Butler.
he's supposed
Yeah.
to take that guy, the inside guy, right? But he ended up not taking anyone.
Well, he delayed because then the guy was closer, right? So,
Oh yeah, that's true. That guy
right. So it was a
further back.
delayed blitz. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah, so then the
the
delayed
will
guy
is coming in
clean.
late. Yeah, the will is late.
Okay.
Claiming clean.
So Rourke sees that right away, and he starts stepping up.
Oh,
Escapes 1, 2,
escapes 3.
3, 4, 5 there.
And good thing they took each other out.
Yeah. So 6 guy gets him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
7
Oh, yeah.
inside the line of scrimmage, and then 2 guys like right outside of it. So
Yeah.
they were stacking the box.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was beautiful. Because any one of those could have tackled him for a loss of yards.
Fast-moving game, getting later in the third quarter now. Rourke takes off again. Nathan Rourke.
I remember Roland's like, slide, slide.
So
But he thinks he's fast. He can break it.
it is true. Why
He got
did
another 15 yards.
what made him decide to run here?
I think he.
Oh,
I think
There's-
the pocket was collapsing,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
he just. I
collapsing.
like it being more decisive,
Yeah.
unlike a former BC Lions quarterback
yeah.
who would, got to be decisive. Like, okay, pocket's breaking down.
Yeah.
I think your hot guy is covered. Just go.
Yeah.
Throw it away or go.
Yeah.
And I think he had a lane there too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And scoring
But he did
position.
say in his postgame he was trying to have a lot more fun. So he decided, that was helped him decide to run quicker.
Cover 0.
It's the second.
Burn.
Yeah, second one right there.
Cover 0 blitz. Burn.
Yeah, this was even bigger, right? The
Yeah.
distance between him and this the safety there, number 9, right?
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, number
I mean,
9.
how many guys are rushing the quarterback, right?
Can we go back and see?
Number 9 is Mechie. Yeah, he's the safety.
Mechie's a safety.
Royce, yep. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
4, 5,
I mean,
6.
they're rushing
7.
7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at where Mechie is. He's all the way in the past the left hash. I don't think a safety's there, man.
Okay. You think? Okay.
I don't know. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah. James says I can see Rourke possibly take a few long ones to the house this season. Yeah, I can see that too.
But look at that protection. Look at JB just stand that guy up. Give Rourke time to just loft it in, versus having to
Where's JB? Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, versus have to throw off his back foot, right? Yeah, he didn't maybe. Yeah, he just lofted in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You had time to look, survey, and plan, deliver properly.
Yeah.
So that guy on the right doubled too, right?
Which guy?
Well, we doubled the guy on there. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. They had a pretty good zone blitz on that one.
Got something going there. In behind coverage and open for 6 more for BC.
That definitely brought the crowd to life. That gave us some breathing room.
And that was.
Ford, the pass to
This was it. This is the big
Oh.
play that we're
yeah.
going to see on TSN forever.
Okay, so who's that fell? Is that our safety? Is that Bolio there? And this is
Okay. So
down.
so you say they're playing zone here, Art? Our DBs?
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it looks like it. Awe should have had that.
Yeah, that
He went
that
for
shoulder,
the big hit.
the
Okay,
shoulder,
that's
shoulder
big
tap
hit.
there doesn't.
And I remember talking to Ro before the game. I'm hoping the defense learned to tackle better this season, but I guess I was going for the big collision.
Yeah.
That okay.
Yeah, I mean he tried to wrap up, but he just.
So is that a 28 or 29? Because I think that
Bolio.
yeah, and I
That's
think he
29.
came from way down on that
Come
blitz.
on, Greg. He's not going to be rushing Trey Ford and then able to run down there after that long throw.
Well, then who was,
There's no way.
Then who was the guy that came in? That I was curious about that, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, if he is, he should be returning kicks for us. It's hard to make out the sixes and
the
nines.
6, 8s, and 9s all look the
That
same.
was Bulio, yeah.
Okay, now hang on,
Spins out of this, and that's a DB.
There, the guy that fell there, I
Yeah.
thought was a 28 or a 29 by the ref there, but it's not.
Greg,
Different guy. No, never mind.
I'm
It's
gonna have to buy
28.
you a pair of binoculars next game. You're gonna have to.
No, wait a minute. Then he
Yeah.
can peel off, and you never know.
See, look at
Dude,
number
man,
5
that's
here.
like how many yards? Dude, come on.
45.
Okay.
But if
Okay, Greg.
but just going back, Art. If this is zone, that's too big of a gap there, right? Look at this number 5.
Well, there's guys,
There's
but
no one
okay.
around.
So what happens? There's guys, but I'm not. I mean, I can't. I don't know how every play sets up, but there's
Yeah.
guys deeper than Rankin, right?
Yep,
There's guys
'cause
deeper.
we saw them coming up on the last replay. They're coming up. They're down.
And
here,
then
yes.
here's a linebacker 1, right? And then there's Halata coming in through the middle, right? So this is a deeper linebacker drop, and then there's like 4 secondary guys behind him, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so
man.
the Lions had a deep zone.
No,
'Cause then
that
he
is
has to get-
Bolio. That's Bolio and Chase. That was the guy. Ha ha ha. I'm right. I'm going to take that. We can take it to the fans. I am right. That was Bolio.
Where?
Yes. Earlier, the one who were pushing out.
Yeah, because he takes a beeline after he sees where it's going. He just comes. He takes the angle because Rankin runs around a little bit, gets slowed down by the Awe hit. The
Sure, Greg, we'll give
JEC.
it to you. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
We'll give it
gotta
to you.
give it to
Let's
me, just
move
like the
on.
Montreal Grey Cup win. Move on.
We'll give it to you because we have no empirical evidence that the guy who missed trade for it in the backfield. We don't know who that is, but
We sure
if you
did.
want it,
3
you got it.
wristbands on the left arm,
Oh boy.
and he's of lighter skin tone.
Okay, Greg. Let's move on, please.
This is Fajardo.
Yes.
Fajardo doing short yardage now.
Again, so much different. The way the O line. Look at that again.
Well, there's more Lions helmets in the Edmonton backfield that time, so I think
And we
they did a
needed
better job.
this.
Sometimes. Okay. It could be better.
So this is a pivotal game. This is a pivotal drive, right? So this was very workmanlike. Rushing 3. See, so Sherritt changes it up, right? A lot of blitzes, the last two touchdowns, and then he went 3-man rush.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
3-man there, but McKinney still got open.
But we talked about that at the game, didn't we, Ro? Like the 3-man rush last year, we weren't very effective against the 3-man rush last year.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I
That
guess it-
was good.
yes, that was a poor secondary. I think it's a poor zone. Like a 2. It's a cover. Looks like a cover 2.
Yeah.
I can't see the full
Yeah.
field, but
Yeah.
that's the
like
weakness of the cover 2. Yeah, that linebacker drop had to be more. I mean, what are they doing? So
But a good throw by Rourke to get it over them, and then to McKinnon. I mean, half a second
pretty-
later, maybe that
There's
guy
a
comes in
10-yard
to knock it down.
There's a 10-yard separation from the deep zone, from the short zone, and he curls ahead. He curls in front of the cover 2 defender. I mean, really,
But yeah.
it's a good throw.
It's a great throw, yeah.
So McKinnis had how many targets? 5 for 5. McKinnis.
Did he catch that many? Was he targeted that many times?
Yeah, I thought it was less, but it's
Yeah,
5 for 5.
because we said that was his second catch, or his third, like from that.
He had
one
He had a
started
whole
with.
bunch of small catches, and he had a couple for first down. So key catches.
Oh, this we were talking about this before the show. That was. I mean, it was a statement hit. It was a bit dangerous. I'm glad, number 81 was able to get up from that.
Mathis, yeah. I still
They,
think he could have wrapped them first.
they did pull him out for just concussion protocol, right? Just to check.
Do you think other teams would wrap up our receivers, Greg?
Nope.
No, they won't.
Nope.
So why would you want to wrap?
That's just what I felt at the time of the game. I said I would have wrapped him. Again, that's that torpedo. Like, that's not tackling, but I would, at the time, I felt he could have wrapped him.
Which team in the NFL or CFL would wrap?
Nobody.
Okay.
But I'm just saying he could have wrapped them there.
Yeah,
that was my opinion at the moment.
Like from a player safety point of view?
Yeah, I'm just saying that was what I felt at the time when it happened. I said, man, he could have wrapped them. That was my initial
I just want to
comment.
understand. Yeah, I don't understand your point. Just it's player safety versus we want to be tough and physical. We want to be imposing. We want to be mean, right? I mean, I think. So
Well,
I mean,
tough imposing. You wrap him. The number 8 comes in and finishes the hit. I mean, that's safety point. You could have wrapped them. There's tough and physical, but then there's vulnerable too. So that's what I felt. At the time.
Fair point.
Yeah,
fair point.
It is fair. I mean, it's respect to other players, right? He's in the air. There's nothing he can do. I'm here. I can hit him or I can wrap him up and just take him out of bounds, right?
To me, that's on the quarterback.
Say you wrap his legs and you keep with your forward momentum, he's still going to slam his head on the turf anyway because that's a suicide ball.
To me, that's on the quarterback. That's on the quarterback, buddy.
Yeah, but less chance.
He's a wide open receiver. He's a wide open receiver. It's not a long pass, and I know it's to the wide field, but that's on the quarterback.
Yep. I mean, like I said, he still could have had his head slam on the turf if our guy wraps him and keeps running. Then I mean, his head's going to hit first because his legs are still in the air. But
it's hard.
Yeah, because he did not look right when they were calling the play. He didn't even look like he knew where he was supposed to go. Like he was just kind of standing around looking dazed.
I mean, I don't know. He looked okay, but the spotters did the right thing. And
he looked dazed. He did look dazed on TV, but yeah.
All right. But I mean, it's a physical game. So
there, but good on him for hanging on to it as he's slow to get up. Excuse me, I had to leave this game. It's 1st and 10 now after the short yardage play.
This is beautiful.
My play of the game right there.
So I don't know where he was trying to go with that ball, unless it just slipped out of his hands. But there is like nobody.
Was there anyone behind though?
Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, like there's like no one in 20 yards, man.
Was he supposed to hit the guy going to the up top of the? But again, that's
dude. It's 20. I mean, there's no one in 20. Like
underthrown by 20 yards.
I mean, well, 10 yards either way, right? But there's like this 20-yard zone. He threw right in the middle of a 20-yard no elk zone. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that receiver was waving. Did he break off and run the wrong, like break off the route because he saw?
Still do.
No, but I'm saying
man.
That's poor quarterbacking. But I'm just saying, was that the guy he intended to throw to and just was expecting him to be there? And he was supposed to get it over Haladic and into that guy's hands or something. I mean, that is and I felt so bad for Haladic here.
So we were sitting like right here, further up a bit, and we were willing him to into the end zone, but it just wouldn't be because he was short by 4 yards.
I thought he had it. He looks like he switched. He put on another gear, but then the guy just tapped his toe.
Yeah.
He looked gassed by the end too. He was just laying there like.
That
was a good run.
It was so beautiful.
I think that was a running back that got him, Ro. Or fullback maybe.
And then next play, untouched Butler walks in.
And they make that look so easy. But mind you, the momentum is totally with the Lions. Right?
But look at that.
They could have just done this on the 2-yard line, couldn't they?
Yeah, look at this wall.
And the key tackle here was my man Kotoy.
Key block, yes.
Yeah, key block.
But you see, like Hatcher's like wide open on see these different looks.
Yeah, because you could easily pull that and toss it. Like, you're right,
That's
Arthur.
true. That's true.
So they're setting that up for subsequent weeks where they have different options, and then
or Nate
Rourke
can keep it himself, right?
It's a run pass option.
Look at that hit by Kotoy. The guy bounces off 3 yards, and that's how he was able to walk in. Last year our receivers did not did not block at all, right?
Well, you heard what McSimic says is because they couldn't.
I know, but obviously they can, right? So
Yeah.
it's just a scheme. So
Welcome back to Vancouver, Butler.
But look at that, just that wall, that initial block, and then that block by Katoy.
All set up by Haladic, who got him close.
Toughness.
And the Lions offense finished
Physicality.
off. Breckenridge averaging nearly 8 yards a carry.
That was number 1 in the league by a long shot.
Ford's under heat again.
There you go.
He goes at the 5. BC's just
They
taking
had
over
enough
this
of him
game.
running
Strong
around.
run game.
Only 61
So
yards
we'll end
rushing
it here,
going
I
this
think,
night for the Elks. Ford.
Well, this is
So-
just Trey Ford padding his stats.
So next up, Arthur, you've got some questions.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Roland.
All right. So if you're with us online, let us know your thoughts on these questions as well that the Art's gonna throw to us.
Lions Canadian Player of the Game. Roland is a proud flag waving Canadian,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have a new award. 3 down. Roland's Lions Canadian Player of the Game is Roland.
So it could be Rourke. It could be McInnes.
Well, Roland's got to have a bias here.
Could be Betts.
There's so many good players.
know.
What
I
about
know.
that beautiful block on that JV touchdown, huh? Your number 3.
Yeah, Katoy.
You will not be judged on this selection. Is this your favorite Canadian Player of the Game?
I mean, I think in the game it'll be. McInnes had a good touchdown, but he was only targeted 5 times. Katoy, what was Katoy's stats? Katoy
I think he had 88 yards receiving.
nine-
Pretty,
nine
it's
for
really good.
7, 88.
Yeah.
So he got 9 targets, 7 receptions.
Drop touchdown.
Yeah, he had a drop touchdown. But I think in this game I'm gonna have to give it to Rourke. 27 for 36 attempts, 324 yards, three touchdowns in the air, 5 carries for 54 yards. So Katoy's a close second just because he was the go-to guy for getting us getting those first downs. But yeah, Rourke, it's Rourke for me.
All right.
Okay.
Solid choice.
All right.
So next is Greg's Lions Unsung Hero Player of the Game.
Well, I'm going to have to be Greg and go away from the instruction. I'm going to give it to the entire offensive line. They had a totally, other than those little short yard gaffes, the pass protection was so much better. They looked a lot more intentional. They looked a lot more, and I'm basing this on last year. They looked a lot more nasty to me. And again, watching it on TV versus being at the game, a little bit different. But yeah, the O-line, big steps of improvement from last year for me. Didn't get
It's
enough
all
mention.
good, Greg. Unsung hero. Just
Yeah.
you're not going to pick a star,
Nope.
or like a skill star position. Just people that are underappreciated. And definitely, the O line would count as that. And mine, big picture moment of the game. So that could be like management, coaches, scheme, something big. And I go back to Buck Pierce. Him
Good choice.
just saying, hey, we're going to be tough and physical. We're going to, the execution was terrible in short yardage, but we're going to just run this down your throat, and you're going to have to stop us. So he's setting up a mindset. They had another 3rd and short and they failed. He gave him a chance.
Yeah.
But I just like that mindset. They're putting everyone on notice, especially his own team.
Yeah.
That like the easiest way to A to B is a straight line, and we're going to go through that straight line.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're going to have to like scheme our way around and do some trick plays to get it. No, we're going to be tough and physical. So get on board, or we're going to find people who can do it. So
I really like what you said because remember last year McSimic, right? This is what I want to happen, but we're moving away from it because the players can't execute. That's the message we got, right? But what we're hearing, and of course just one game. What we're seeing from Buck Pierce is that this is what we need, and this is what I expect of you. You keep doing it, and if you can't do it, then I'm gonna get someone else, right?
Well, the big thing is too. That's what he preaches the minute he gets here, and then if he starts making decisions counter to what he's preaching to that team, you're going to be a mess real quick.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, buy into Buck, and it really looks like they have, and he's giving them, like you said, Arthur, every opportunity to. And I'm really happy with the adjustments. I'm sure I would like Roland and I both said we would have liked to have seen what he said to the team at halftime.
Apparently, reading between the lines from the interviews after the game, apparently it wasn't much. Said we knew what we needed to do.
He didn't have to say, "Well,
Yeah.
that's then."
So
His message has gotten through from training
yeah,
camp. Then
basically he said, "Finish. You need to finish." This is what I got right.
But if you've got that, if you're not willing to buy into it, we'll find somebody that will. If that's always in your mind, then you are going to do what he says without him telling you to. You're going to finish.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's leadership, right? You say, this is what's expected. I expect you to rise up to it. Right? That's what leadership is. You stretch the people and you inspire them. As opposed to saying, well, we're going to give up because you can't run, you can't tackle, So, okay, cool. Next part. So two things. What needs to change with the team, and what were the key moments in the game, and what needs to change for the next game? We'll start with Art.
Well, let's try three different key moments. For me, I like when Dante Williams hit that receiver hard. And I think it was a legal hit, shoulder
Oh yeah, with the
to chest.
helmets popping, right?
Helmets popped out. It was another high throw from Trey Ford. People are saying, well, why don't you just take it easy on him? It's garbage time. Hey, the Lions are trying to show we play tough and physical.
Especially at our house.
Yeah, and then that hit to Eberhardt earlier was pretty, I don't know, from Terrell Ford, it was a pretty hard hit as well that knocked off the helmet. So I think there was a little payback. And if your quarterback's gonna throw high and leave you vulnerable, we're gonna finish. So receivers will maybe start to hear footsteps next time. So I thought it was a key moment because it was in garbage time. They're just checking down, going down the field. The Elks were. So I like that kind of mentality to just get one back for the team.
Yeah.
And not be the nail, be the hammer. How about you, Greg?
Well, I like your lesson, Arthur. It's better to give than receive, definitely. The best lesson football can teach anybody. But yeah, my couple key moments were, that my Ben Haladic interception. That was my play of the game. But that was, that was just an entertaining key moment for me. But the key moment were those times that they didn't finish, but they didn't fold. And they did make the adjustments needed to, but they seem to have that new attitude that I was doubtful in the beginning of the game, but as the game went on, they just kept that what you call it earlier today, Arthur, that workmanlike effort. They just kept picking away at it and making the adjustments. But I would like to see a faster start from the D and better at containing quarterbacks that run around. Oh wait, we're not talking about going in to change it, but that big scramble by Trey Ford, that was a negative key moment for me. It's like, how can you let that happen? Like second and longs, and you're letting a guy run for it. It just not acceptable.
Yeah. All right. So my key moment was actually our touchdown drive after Edmonton scored a touchdown, because that to me, so we scored, and then they came back and scored, and then how do we respond to that? That's responding to adversity, right? And being able to do that, and it was a long field too. It was a long drive that we had to, and we executed, and that's why I really am happy with Rourke, right? Because a lot of that was his, right? His decision making. But as a team, that to me was a key moment. It shows resiliency. It shows strength, and that inner belief, and that's what we're hoping Buck Pierce is going to bring in. So that to me was a key moment of the game. All right, so let's do looking ahead to Winnipeg. Your thoughts. Let's start with Greg, maybe.
Well, it's a short week. and we played somewhat physical. So I'm hoping that we can recover quick. But best be prepared because this is the first. Winnipeg was always that hump we could never get over. We've got Buck now, so I'm hoping that new attitude can be taken into Winnipeg, and that they will continue that physical play. But just hopefully they can start fast because they need to take advantage of the Calero suspension and just get on top of Winnipeg quick. Keep that stadium quiet.
Yeah. Has for Life says, this is great. The biggest test for the Lions. We play them the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, back to back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
On a short week and a long week.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, Art, thoughts?
I'm not too worried about Winnipeg in the regular season. We just have an issue with them in the playoffs.
Okay.
And then they've actually gone into Princess Auto Stadium and gotten wins, right? I mean, the last couple of years we have had to go in there twice, and we're able to get wins. We usually get wins early in the year, and we don't get the wins later in the year. So what needs to change big time is special teams, right? I mean, the cover teams have to be more disciplined. We need better return game as well. So I think the special teams for me have to improve. It's going to be hard in a short week, but let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
Because those there's like 2-3 long returns refueled Edmonton's offense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I said before the game last night, special teams have to make plays and turn the tide if tide needs turning. And there's a couple times, like I said, give the momentum right back. And Winnipeg has always had a decent return game against us. So I'm with you, Art.
Yeah. So I agree completely too. So I'd like to add to that short yardage. We need to fix that. That's fixable, right? That's fixable. We've got the right attitude. We've got the right guys. It's just being able to execute properly on those short yardage. So if we can fix that, as well as what you guys said, I think next week is winnable, very winnable. Zach Clare is not going to be there, so let's move on to predictions. Actually, before we predict next week, let's take a look at our results from last week's predictions. So, the score. What was the final score? Final score was 31-14. And let's see. Art's prediction, what did you predict?
My prediction last week was 24-21 BC.
24-21, okay. And then my prediction was 30-21. And Greg, your prediction was 26-14. So, looks like, Greg, you're the winner. You're the closest in terms of the so you got 14 for Edmonton, and then you said 26, so you were 5 off.
You're going 2 singles. That's okay.
So good stuff. All right, predictions for next week. Who wants to go first?
Well, let Greg go first because he went last.
Oh, that's true. You won last week.
He had the benefit of knowing what we're gonna do.
Okay, I'm going to Winnipeg. Short week. I will say. I'm going to say 19. No, 23-19.
For
BC.
Okay. 23-19. Okay, you're saying it's a close game. Okay. Who goes next?
I'll go next.
So Calaris is not going to be there. It's their season opener. They had a bye this week. We have a short week. Winnipeg's going to be very amped up. Right, season opener. They're well rested. So.
Well, I'm wearing your orange colored glasses, Roland. I'm being super optimistic for this one.
Okay.
They need to win.
I think it's gonna be 24-17 BC.
Ooh.
24-17. Okay. Ooh. Arthur's more optimistic than Greg this time.
Well, I mean, Zach Caleros is not playing. That's a big. I mean, that's huge, right? That's huge.
Who's their backup?
Strev and
Strev,
who's that other guy?
That's huge.
It is. Yeah.
Like, for some teams, they have a really good backup, but Shriveler is not gonna. I mean, they're gonna run a lot probably.
Shea Patterson.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say 28-20. So I think they're going to score a little bit more.
28-20 for who?
For BC.
Okay.
Of course.
It's Roland, yes.
Okay. You guys online, if you have any predictions, let us know too. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be a Thursday game. Thursday, what time is it?
5:30, I think.
Yeah.
5:30 Pacific.
5:30 local time.
Yeah.
Local BC time.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good game. But a lot of people think Saskatchewan's the team to beat this year. But I think Winnipeg's still going to be a contender. Any advantage you think having Buck Pierce as our head coach?
Well, he would know. I mean, well, not like against Winnipeg the offense, they have a new OC, right? But and then there've been changes on their coaching staff, right?
Yeah.
So, but he kind of knows O'Shea.
Yeah.
But then they know Buck.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
But the biggest thing
does
is
that tip
no
the advantage to
Claros.
them knowing Buck?
Well, but they don't know his players, so
Yeah.
Buck knows them and the players.
Yeah.
But I mean, the biggest thing is just no Claros, right?
Yes.
I mean, he still is a really good player in this league and can burn the Lions. So
Yes.
without him, and then it's the CFL. The QB position is pivotal.
Yeah.
Pivotal.
Nathan says, no prediction, but very excited to see how Buck's offense fares against Winnipeg defense, which we always seem to have issues with. They've lost
they
a
play
few
physical.
veteran players, right, on their defense.
Yeah, no Kenny Lawler, right?
Yeah, on the offense. On the defense, they
Terrell
lost
Ford.
Terrell Ford, yes.
Terrell Ford.
And Big Hill's
end.
kind of at the end.
Big Hill's gone. Jeff Coate, he was still there last year, right? Or
I'm looking right now.
I think he retired the previous summer.
oh, okay. All right.
Or before the previous year.
Okay.
Yep. Arthur is bang on.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be a good game, but we're predicting a BC win. So all three of us. Cool. All right. So thanks Alt for joining in with us. Again, really excited to be back into the groove of BC Lions football. So let us know if you're watching this after the live stream. If you have any thoughts or comments, just put it in the comments on YouTube, and I would love to hear from you. Habs for Life says, thanks all. Thank you, Habs. And good night to everyone. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week, Sunday.
Go Lions.
Bye-bye.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Have a great week.